My name is Nally. I run a variety of games, most of which are horror or platformers, but I do basically everything. And on my couch, we have Catlink, if she wants to
Hello.
introduce herself.
Hi, I absolutely adore this game. It is one of my first PC games I've ever played when I got my first PC, so I love this game to death. But I'm here to big chill and support my girl, so yeah, hi.
Alrighty, so we are gonna start. Time will begin on first movement. So we're gonna load in here, and I will count down in just a second. Like I said, this is a puzzle platformer game, has like a dark French noir
Что ж,
style
комментатор не
to it. It's a
подошел,
really
поэтому
neat
с вами я.
game.
Контра.
We are gonna start in
Контраст.
3,
Поправки, я
2,
говорился.
1, go.
Она начинается. Это пазл-платформер
Okay, so the
в
first thing that we're going to
таком
do is actually
необычном стиле.
a little death abuse here. We're gonna jump off
И сразу
the
же
building,
делаем
and that
десабьюз.
allows us to move inside of the cutscene that we're supposed to be locked in. But
Мы...
unfortunately,
Тихо.
we're gonna abandon Dee Dee.
Oh, okay, bye,
Yeah,
Dee
it's
В
my
общем-то, мы
favorite
сразу
game
ломаем игру,
called
потому что мы
Void of
попадаем в
Child.
катсцену, в которой не
Because she
должны
likes
иметь
continuously
управление,
talk to us and be like, "Hey, do a shadow
но
trick," and I do not want to do shadow tricks.
немножко
I'm not
сломали
a
ее,
jester.
сразу же
Hey,
выходя в
do the
ОБ.
hat trick.
No. We're gonna do some out of bounds. We're gonna break physics. Yeah, generally, gonna be a pretty quick run, I would say. We're already a third through the first act. Because we skipped through
Сейчас
an
ран
entire
получится очень
sequence of
коротким, из-за того,
requirements
что
to get to
почти
this
все
area.
головоломки,
Right
которые мы должны
now, we
делать,
are
вот
actually
проходятся у
going
нас
to
вот
hit
так.
a trigger. For some reason, you cannot pass through this area without hitting certain triggers. So one of them was that one, and then the other one is going to be
Мы специально спрыгнули вниз,
chair
чтобы
jump.
триггер стал активным. Как видите, у нас даже
Oh yeah,
не
it is a
прогружаются
little
многие
difficult
объекты,
jump only because the chairs
поэтому
themselves have an
приходится
invisible
играть в
wall
более сложный
behind them,
платформинг.
so you have to like swoop around and hope that you don't get caught on that. And we
Ай-яй.
got the second trigger. That allows us to get dash.
Но нам
Dash
хватило.
is very
Мы
helpful
достали до
here.
второго
It
триггера.
allows us to hit triggers way off in the distance like that.
И теперь с помощью новой способности, которую нам
Lot of,
разблокировал предыдущий триггер, мы получили дэш, который позволил нам достать последний триггер и переместиться в
And this
следующую
very quick cutscene skips.
локацию.
Yeah, and then we're gonna break into the theater. We can go through the theater normally, however,
You're
Yeah,
saying
we're,
we're just gonna skip that entirely?
breaking and entering. There we go.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
that.
just phasing through walls here.
Why not? Just say hello. We're just coming in.
Exactly.
В общем-то, весь ран построен на поломке стен,
You know,
которых нет.
You break and enter and you get stuck in a wall. It's okay. We're
Условно,
shadows.
призрачные такие
There we
отголоски.
go. Sometimes
которые
you can
мы
get stuck
не
in
верим.
walls because the physics of the shadows themselves are a little bit weird when you phase into the walls. So luckily we can break out and we are heading over to the hotel. There's a lot happening all at once.
Yeah.
So
The tricks in this game are very complex in themselves. Like there's just a lot going in all at once, as you can see, with death triggers and just all sorts of things. But this game in itself is just, as you can see, it's just very broken. It takes a lot longer than you would think. It's about a 3 to 4 hour playthrough, but there's just
yeah.
В прохождении казуальная игра занимает от 3 до 4 часов,
We're kinda gonna be,
но поскольку мы
gonna have to head
используем
down to
абьюз
about
без триггеров, то есть состояние, когда игра думает, что мы мертвы, но не мертвы,
So this is the last section of
клипы,
Act One.
прыжки незадуманные игрой.
normally you would do a shadow
Очень
puzzle here with platforming,
неожиданно.
so you would use the shadow
Вот здесь
to
вот, как вы
jump
видите,
onto things
мы
and
можем
jump on
становиться
top of shadows, as you see.
тенью,
Um,
ну вот именно тенью.
which is a lot of this game. A
И
lot of
это
the
основная
game is to
механика
use
игры,
your shadows
контрасты.
to jump and do platforming.
Мы
Of
можем
course,
перемещаться
you didn't
между
have that, but it's still cool to see
состояниями
how
условными, то есть на
broken this
на
game
светлой
can
части
get
мы можем быть
and how fast you can get from point A to point B,
тенью
which
и
I think
прыгать
is
по теням,
fascinating personally.
а
For this
на
particular section, you actually have
тенях
to
мы должны
move all of the
оставаться в
chandeliers,
трехмерном
all the way
мире.
to the top of the hotel in order to get up to that little section there. However, we just kind of
Да, обычные
bypassed it
игроки
by
сталкиваются
shadows and
с
we're getting
невидимыми
empty.
стенами, а спидранеры с неосязаемыми. Спидранеры
I would say
отрицают
that Act 2
концепцию
is
стен.
actually the harder of the acts. There's 3 of them total. Act 2 is going to
И
be a
вот мы
little
во
bit
втором
different.
акте.
I showcased this 3 years ago, and there's going to be the blind section again, but there's also going to be a new skip that we're going to be trying out. Yeah, it's actually really neat. So we have to go to the circus tent. Again, we're going to ignore DD because, again, favorite game. Got to play the game.
We're playing the game? What?
Yeah,
I thought we're just doing our shadow trick.
Just do our shadow trick. Yeah, she's just gonna keep talking to us, and she's like, "Hey, you could do all these things. You could, become a shadow on the wall and
Do your
pass
shadow
through all of these shadows." And we just kind of jumped over all of them.
Bye, Dee Dee.
Oh, so the one mechanic that I didn't explain is there is something called a dash jump. Dash jumps are a little bit complicated, where you can jump, you could dash, and then you could do another jump that is
Вот сейчас нам
right after.
рассказывают о дэш-джампе,
You
где
have
мы
to hit the
дэшимся,
jump
прыгаем,
above
и можем
the
сделать
very
еще один
end of your
прыжок.
dash, but it has to be within a certain
И для этого
frame.
необходимо прямо вот
Otherwise,
под самый
Dawn is
конец
not going
прыжка
to
совершать
do
прыжок.
that second jump. This is Butter Tree. You can kind of see why I call it Butter Tree. It is slippery, and it is not cooperating with
Very,
me.
very slippery tree here.
Сейчас
This is one of the hardest tricks of the game.
нам необходимо
Only
прыгнуть
because...
от дерева,
There we go.
правильно?
Oh, there it is, there it
О.
is.
Yeah. When you do
Это
that
один из
trick,
самых сложных трюков
unfortunately,
ради.
if you have to
Правильно
reset
отпрыгнуть
it,
от этого
the game
дерева.
will lag, and it will eat your dash or your jump. So you have to kind of know how the game works in order to do that little manipulation there. And this is the pirate ship.
Ooh, I remember I love this section. This section was very, very cool.
Yeah, this is the most memorable spot of contrast, I think, because it is very, very different.
It's a quite unique artistic section with how they use the pirate ship and all the things around it, especially with the shadows and everything along with it.
Oh, for sure. One thing that I'm doing here
Вот
as
сейчас вы,
well
кстати, могли
is
заметить то, что мы
thinking
можем
of
проносить
objects.
в теневой мир и
Dawn is
объекты,
kind of locked in this
за счет чего
walking animation.
коровку
You
перетащили.
can hit shift on the keyboard, which will allow her to run with an object in hand. This is not bound to controller for whatever reason. It's only on keyboard, so I do have to use multiple inputs in order to make Dawn faster. And here is where the new skip is going to be. It's a little finicky. We will see what happens. I would say that this is now the newest, hardest trick in contrast.
Oh, another new hard trick.
И
Oh,
вот этот
boy.
вот трюк новый, и он стал самым сложным в контрасте.
I think we got it. We got it.
Yeah, let's go!
Ох ты ж,
That
с
was
первого раза.
found very, very recently by the new world record holder. Their name
Это
starts
было
with
на
B. I don't
недавно
wanna
новом
botch
VR
it,
holder.
unfortunately. But they found this, and I give credit to them. They know who they are. They're actually the French restreamer right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So as you can see,
Так.
Dawn isn't
Раз,
looking too
два,
good. You
три.
can't really see her. This is part 1 of the blind section.
Извините, у
where
нас
you
недолго
can
прервалась
see
трансляция, наверное.
kind of where you're going. And you just kind of
Сейчас
have to listen to very specific things.
был передан
Objects
привет
that
французским
pop up.
рестримам, потому что игра
In
«Контракты»
order to get
очень
to
хорошо была
that
воспринята
trigger that's all the
французским
way at the
сообществом.
top. There is something that I also didn't explain because this is
И
just
VR
such a
holder,
fast run.
вот, который
At certain
недавно
points
обновил
you will see me
VR, вот с
zip
этой
up
вот
walls.
страткой новой.
I'm using a
Он у нас,
specific
кстати,
patch of the game in order to do that. Where
из
if you are holding an
Франции
object
тоже, поэтому ему
and,
отдельный
you're
привет
close enough to
передали.
the wall, the game is like, hey, you're in the wall. You're not supposed to be in the wall. We're going to boot you out, but it boots you upward instead.
Oh, that's convenient.
Yeah. So now this is the blind section where I am listening to specific footsteps to see where I
В
am.
целом игра проходится минут за 12 в спидране в среднем.
I think we got it.
Но у нас тут получится, наверное, чуть дольше, потому что несколько скипов не получилось сразу.
Oh. Shut up, Dee Dee. Thank you, Dee Dee.
Okay, she's gonna be a little weird. Hold on 1 second. Oh. That's not it.
It's around here somewhere. We'll get it.
It's trying. I think I'm stuck on something that I cannot see, unfortunately.
Obviously, void walking can be very difficult to navigate since you don't know where you're going. It's all off of audio cues right now.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be quiet.
There's the other side. Yeah, I figured this would happen.
It's okay. We all get a little lost in the void sometimes.
There we go. Oh,
Hey!
yeah.
There we go. Good job.
Thanks. It's just such a awkward thing because there isn't really anything that you
It's
can see
hard.
at
You're
all.
walking in the void. You don't see anything. You're like, where am I?
Just forced into the shadow realm.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so we are going to do a weird thing here. Normally you're supposed to have 3 repaired attractions.
Тут почти вся игра в
We did one
ООБ.
of them
Ну, потому что
earlier. One of them
по
was the hot air balloon.
казуальному прохождению, именно по казуальному, мы должны решать головоломки, заниматься небольшим бэктрекингом, исследовать этот мир. А в спидране у нас выход в ООБ есть, мы взяли, кликнулись и оказались в конце игры практически.
Hey, you haven't done the hot air balloon. Do that. And you're like, okay, so you can do it twice.
Но в Амнезии на деле ООБ
You don't have to do the,
сразу же к финалу, так
the
что
puppet show. However,
прохождение за 1
third
минуту —
time,
это прохождение за
the
1
game
минуту.
caps out there for some reason.
She's like, no, you've had enough puppet show today. Stop
That would
it.
make this
Если что, мы
too
приближаемся к времени ВР,
easy.
через
No, thanks. All right, so
2
that
минуты уже время
yeah,
второго-третьего
we're
места
almost
должно
on the
быть,
run.
так что
Act 3 is pretty simple.
очень близок
Just
к
a
финалу.
lot of platforming, some out of bounds,
Just a
and
few
some
little tricky tricks here and there.
yeah, some neat little tricks.
Yeah.
It's also a little bit dark. Let's see.
There you go. A little up and up.
There is a quicker way to do the little out of bounds here up here, but it's much harder because there's a lot more that can go wrong. There we go, and then I'm gonna do a new out of bounds, also by the new world record holder. They've done a lot of stuff, and I appreciate the effort that they put into this little game. Very neat game. Let's see if I can fix this, which I should be able to. Yep, there we go.
So is there a lot of invisible walls you have to combat while you're going out of bounds? Like,
Oh yeah, there's
so is that why you're like dashing into a lot of things and it's kind of okay?
yeah, and I'm actually using some of those invisible walls to kind of project myself upward,
Oh yes, of course.
so that I can climb upward. Because with the flat roofs that you see, you can actually fall through them. So I'm trying to avoid that because that is
Not to get into that, yeah.
yeah, that is a reset there. So avoiding that as much as I can.
That's fair, honestly. Oh,
Yeah.
Dee Dee, bye Dee Dee.
Yeah, again, avoid the child. She'll be fine out there.
She can figure it out.
So, the last thing that we need to do here is shine a light on the stage. We're going to climb the lighthouse.
Да,
We're
игра на
going to
3-4 часа.
bypass all of the puzzles.
У нас просто в ране
Again, we are
стандартная
not here
ситуация,
to
когда
we are
тут
here to
особо нечего
demonstrate
комментировать,
physics.
потому что
We're halfway through
все
the
стандартные
lighthouse now.
перемещения
Huge
внутри
puzzle
игры
down
и
there. We
скипы
use this
не
box
меняются,
to
то есть
drag
это
those
один и тот же
boxes.
скип,
The same
который
thing kinda happens
на
here,
протяжении всей
casual
игры
one,
работает.
but,
Единственное, меняются
yeah,
места
we're just
применения.
gonna fly on through. Let's see.
Would you say we have time for one donation?
We can do 1 or 2.
Yeah.
All right. We have $20 from Nico with a C. Hi, y'all. I'm coming up on almost 24 hours of uptime, but I had to watch this amazing run because y'all
Ну,
are amazing people. Thank you
раз
kindly
был,
for being
по-моему,
you,
стартовой
Lesson 3.
линейки у PS4.
We have $50 from Artifice.
Ну, по крайней
When
мере,
I played
PS
Contrast,
развивался,
it was
потому
one
что
of
я
the
помню
most
эту игру.
novel concepts I'd seen.
Я
I
даже в нее
didn't
играл, но
exactly
она
have
не
an intended
запоминается
game
ничем,
experience, but
кроме
still,
концепции
I've
прикольной.
never seen a
То,
speedrun
что у
of
нее
it, but I
концепция
can
с тем,
only
что мы можем
imagine what one
переходить в
might
теневой
look
мир и
like.
ходить по
Big
теням.
boost towards Zelda 100% upgrade.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much.
В общем-то,
So as you can see,
комьюнити
Nally's
у игры
using a lot
есть,
of shadows.
как-никак.
There is a lot of story and lore behind this. That is actually quite dark.
Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
is not happy at all.
It is not a happy ending.
It sorta ends happy, but it's just like,
Kinda,
oh, you know the
yeah.
truth now. This is sad.
The truth is quite tragic.
Но сейчас
And also
они
probably
говорят о
caused
том,
by
что
the game
это
using French
не
too.
хэппи-эндинг,
The French
конечно,
language being a
то,
bit
что они
faster for the
получают.
game. There are certain areas where she needs to stop, and of course, the talking goes on. So French is just generally faster for it, as well as the game is produced by a Canada Montreal company, Camaldi Games, that is also French.
Yeah.
So that's kind of fitting.
And we're actually at the end of the run. I will call time in just a few seconds.
We're already there. Oh my
We
goodness.
are.
Hi, Dee Dee. Bye, Dee Dee.
Hi, bye. See ya. And time will be called when it fades to black. Time.
My goodness.
Все,
That was
время.
amazing. You did really, really well.
Довольно-таки короткий ран.
Just quick little shout outs here. Thank you, Kat, for being on my couch. You are amazing. Thank you, GDQ and GDQ Tech. You guys are also
Дракули
amazing.
благодарит
And thank you, Compulsion
Кэтлин
Games.
за
This
то,
was
что
actually
она
their
была на
very first game that they
комментировании
made. They
ГДК
also made We Happy Few, and they have a new game coming out.
и рассказывает о комьюнити в целом.
We'll see. Yeah.
Еще увидимся.
But yeah, that was Contrast. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.